The campaign is definitely like playing through a summer blockbuster that is accessible to anybody coming in.
Black Ops 6 follows the events of both Cold War and then the 1980s part of Black Ops 2.
The story takes place in 1991. Frank Woods had been on a mission in Panama that had gone south because there was apparently a mole within the CIA that betrayed them. Jason Hudson got killed. Alex Mason was killed by Woods' hand unintentionally. So what we're dealing with is some of the aftermath of those events. Our major returning characters are Frank Woods. He's a man of action, but he's not able to actually get out in the field anymore. We also have Russell Adler. No one quite understands his motivations, so he's difficult to trust.
As far as new characters, we have Troy Marshall brings leadership, and then Savati Dumas, she's the master of disguise.
And Felix Newman is a tech genius.
Their arcs are very like, I don't know who to trust. I don't necessarily trust anybody in this room, but we know that we have like a similar goal.
When we were starting to think of a campaign, we first start with our era. So we knew we wanted to touch on the Gulf War. We'll hit Kuwait, Iraq, Washington, D.C., Soviet Union. And then from there, we fill in the gaps with, what are just cool locations that we want to do that are fun, provide big experiences, big moments, and really fit the characters in the story.
Call of Duty has many landmarks, either existing or fictional one that is heavily related with real life, real war, real events.
The sheer variety in the game is pretty spectacular in that there's a lot of space to explore. The player can do it in any order they want. We're allowing different strategies in these spaces.
You'll find that your buddy played it differently and they got a whole different result, or that something happened to them that didn't happen to you. So there's a lot of replayability.
The safe house is a place to go in between missions. It gives the player a chance to explore.
It's where you can really see these characters and feel who they are and what they're going through.
There is also upgrade stations, so the player can upgrade themselves with improved equipment, improved abilities.
The safe house will grow as the player progresses through the game. The set dress will change, the visuals will change, and you'll notice different things that weren't there before.
So the player is playing a CIA operative named William Calderon. He goes by Case.
Throughout the campaign, you'll be playing as Case, but there are other opportunities and other missions where you will play as other members of the team. And under the radar, you're playing as Sev, and she gets her own uniform and is disguised as a person who's working the base. We're hammering home to the player, this is a different character you're playing as. And so prototyping a mechanic around her having heightened keen eye senses, integrating that into the flow of the mission worked really well.
I think my favorite part is in high rollers. You're going to go in there, pretend you are one of the customers, and break into the underground vault and get that cash out.
My favorite mission is Emergence. It's a classic Black Ops, mind-twisting, don't really know what's going on sort of vibe to it, and I think players are really, really going to enjoy it.
Yeah, we put a lot of love into this game. A lot of people have worked hard on it, and we're super excited with how it turned out. I can't wait for people to play it this fall.
We're all very proud and excited about this game, and we can't wait to see fans get their hands on it.
At the end of Cold War, our heroes kind of saved the day. We had contained the Dark Ether.
Richtofen imprisoned them somewhere. Fast forward 6 years, and our crew have been in the deepest, darkest hole that the director could find to conceal them from the rest of the world, and we will be breaking them out and discovering the state of the world.
All of the characters have gone under quite a bit of a change. Prison changes people, that's kind of inevitable.
Our crew for zombies this game is Weaver, Dr. Gray, Carver, and Maya. The first three were our handlers in Cold War.
You got Weaver, who's this grizzled veteran, used to be a CIA spy, spec ops soldier.
He's been through a lot since the events of Cold War. I think it's hit him harder than most because he failed his team, and he's had 6 years to have that guilt amass. Gray has undergone a transformation.
She's physically toughened up a lot compared to the kind of lab geek that she was, and that's going to be very important now that she's boots on ground.
46.
Carver is the hardcore military guy.
He's been stripped of his rank. Trying to find his place could be something that he could possibly struggle with.
You're supposed to be dead.
Maya is a new character that we're adding.
She's coming into this story desperately trying to find her brother. She's had to make an unlikely ally in the form of Peck.
This is Maya. She's with me.
Dr. Peck was a villain from the previous game, so they are not happy to see him.
That kind of adds suspicion to Maya's character in everyone's eyes. Like, why are you hanging out with this guy? He's part of the reason we're here. You can't trust him.
But they quickly realize that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So they all are aligned on wanting to hunt down Richtofen and getting revenge.
All of us share a common enemy. The guy who locked you up.
We're going to be having hero character interactions, so they're going to be speaking to each other.
All those years behind the bars. Feels good to get hands-on again.
Pace yourself, Carver. I think we're just getting started.
That's only going to be happening when they play the dedicated crew.
They interact with each other. You get a lot more information about how their relationships sort of change.
Look alive, Gray.
And you can still play as any other operator, but if you choose to play as these hero characters, you're just going to get a richer experience because there's just more narrative content.
To put the players actually into the characters that are living the story, it brings back that tightness that I think fans loved and are going to really welcome back this time around.
The teams have been working so hard, and we're really excited for everyone to experience the characters in this story in Black Ops 6.
It feels like there's nothing else on the market that can scratch the itch that Black Ops 6 Zombies gives. It's just so fun to play through that gameplay loop over and over again.
One of the newest things we have is called augments, and it's the new way for us to upgrade perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades.
We'll give you 3 major augments and 3 minor augments for you to choose from. So a major augment would be more drastic. So there's a major augment that will turn into 3 orbs that will essentially carousel around you and protect you. A minor augment might be stat changes like this napalm burst will now deal slightly more damage. One of our brand new perks, Melee Macchiato, gives you a devastating punch melee. It has a major augment that will improve the melee attack speed for all of your melee weapons.
I know perks have been in every game, but the augments really do give a new breadth to perks and using them, adding that customizability to using perks, making it feel individual to the one who's using it. So no perk really feels the same between 2 players.
Augments are a game changer. They allow you so much control over the way you want to play and experience the game.
Now we have replaced the armor upgrades in the arsenal with ammo mods. So when you go to the arsenal, you can apply an ammo mod to your weapon and upgrade its rarity.
We are bringing bubblegums back and really just looked at how we could refine it and improve it for Black Ops 6.
So you will be able to pick 5 gobble gums in menus and put those into a pack that you then use inside the match. And in the match, you just find a gumball machine, you go up to it, and then it'll give you one of those gobble gums.
And you can choose when you want to activate them, and you can activate multiple at once.
They can range from small changes in gameplay to drastic changes and upgrades that can really benefit a player.
They can give you all the perks at once, or even allow you to fire a weapon without using up any ammunition. They can be really powerful when used in a timely manner.
Weapon builds are great. They allow players to save a build, which includes attachments and blueprints on a weapon. Players to then set that as a zombie build. That means when you're playing a match and you access a weapon via a wall buy or the mystery box, you'll get that zombie build in the game.
It's at its core a mode that we love, and we just want to continue to push it in new directions to keep it fresh and exciting, but at the same time making sure it's delivering on all the big elements that are core to the DNA of the mode. So we're creating new experiences within that. Terminus is one of our biggest round-based maps we've ever made, and it's full of experiences to discover and really explore. We're here to break down all of the new features that are going to be coming to Black Ops 6. Terminus is taking place in the early 90s, 5 years after the events of Cold War zombies. It seemed like a really cool place, like a tropical setting with various little islands out in the distance.
It's one part jail and other part secret research facility in the Philippine Sea to just develop weird science. The first thing you're gonna see is just everything's dark, really moody. Everything looks shut down. You know something's happened there.
We want to set the mood so the player could feel the chaos of the recent outbreak of the zombies. We push the visual a lot, so make it more realistic.
We're treating Terminus as a living world, which are just different ways to bring the world to life.
Living World is scripted encounters that we've placed in the map to add to ambience. We have these tubes that have zombies inside of them. And when the player walks by them, it'll trigger the escape sequence for them. It'll be very scary and shocking. give that feeling of, wow, this is a world that's existed prior to the player coming in.
Zombies have been attacking everything everywhere. So as you move into these spaces, we're really telling that story. Prison guards are still dying around you. You would encounter maybe a guard being eaten alive by a couple zombies, and then they see you and come and attack you.
The zombies, they're gonna range from scientists to security, experiments.
Every time you enter a new space, you don't know exactly what to expect. A zombie head pops out as a vermin, and then it eventually gestates and then becomes a parasite.
The tentacle trap that's just an awesome trap.
The tentacle trap? Oh. They're placed over doorways. It drops down and eats up all the zombies that pass through.
It's a beast of a main quest. You know, it'll use the ocean, it'll use the islands, it'll use every part of the map proper. It's one of the bigger maps we've created.
We wanted you to really think about how you're moving through this space. We never had a drivable vehicle. You can go drive a boat anywhere on the entire map. All that space out there that I thought was just the environment, that feeling of I can go anywhere. It's so exciting. In true Zombies fashion, you're never safe anywhere for very long. A little bit of a foreshadow to something bigger that you might encounter.
We're really excited for everyone to just get their hands on it in Black Ops 6.